making a run at it, aren't you? Rolling up a steak and going to Vegas.
Welcome to the #1 poker radio show in the world. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
1 full hour of poker news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises. Now let's bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
All right, everybody, how we doing today? We are live again from the World Series Poker after a unplanned day off yesterday. Gonna be trying to get my throat through all this. Feeling too hot, but back in the saddle again for another show here at the World Series of Poker. And boy, we have a ton of news. We've got some big-time names winning bracelets. A lot going on. A lot of comments about Matt Glanz saying he is considering not coming back to the World Series this year. Wow. Yeah, that's for next year. That's pretty big. But there's so many stories going on out there right now with all these tournaments and bracelets going down. And I think what we'll do is we're going to dig into what's happening on the tables and take a look at what's going on in the last few events and what's happening today here at the World Series of Poker. Of course, the big news coming out of yesterday, Jason Mercier, or on Wednesday afternoon, Jason Mercier takes down event number 32. He wins the $5,000 No Limit Hold'em 6-handed event. So Jason Mercier claims another World Series of Poker bracelet as another one of the top pros. And these kids from Florida, they are doing some damage out there right now. I keep telling everybody, obviously Jason's a little bit of an exception to the Florida rule, but we're having a lot of players from South Florida, where we regularly cover the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open Series, are coming up big, and Jason knocks off Simon Deadman to win that event. Mike Gorodinsky coming in third, and Dario Sammartino in fourth, as both of those guys continue to have a great World Series. Igor Dubinsky showed up on this one, finishes fifth. James Obst, we've been seeing his name quite a bit, finishing in sixth place. Nacho Barbero, I just want that guy to win a bracelet just because of his name. That would be awesome. Nacho Barbero finishing seventh. Pierre Milan in eighth, and Jorrit Van Hoof, who made the World Series of Poker final table in the main event last year, finishing ninth. Max Coleman in 10th. Griffin Paul was hanging around there too. Tuan Lee, a good friend of the show, Mike Delvecchio, makes one of his deepest runs ever in an event, finishing in 13th. Jennifer Tilly finishing in 14th in that one. So a pretty star-studded field in event number 32, but this one goes to Jason Mercier, picking up a brand-new bracelet for himself. We go to event number 33, the $1,500 limit deuce to 7 triple draw low ball event, and Benny Glazier brings another bracelet to the United Kingdom. Boy, the Brits having a pretty solid series so far. He holds off Brock Parker, who was trying to win, I believe his third bracelet, out of Silver Spring, Maryland. Glazier takes that down, wins. Give me 1 second here. We'll get on the right page there. $136,215. Noah Bronstein finishing third. Sergei Rybchenko in fourth. Andrew Brown in fifth. John Turner, another final table for him at this World Series. He continues to play well. He finishes sixth. Toby Malloy in seventh. Steve Bilirakis in eighth. Mark Friedman in ninth. Philip Hui in 10th. And Dutch Boyd, good friend of the show, finishing in 11th place here in event number 33, the $1,500 limit deuce to 7 triple draw low ball. Event number 34, that one is playing out right now. They are on their final table. The $1,500 split format home used to be known as the Mix Max tournament. And Bolick, who of course won one of the Seminole Hard Rock events we were just talking about, has taken the lead in this one as he has managed to pass Erwan Peshu. Bullock at $1,350,000, Peshu at 1.12, Andre Boyer at $851,000, Andrew Gao out of the Philippines at $805, Gavin O'Rourke out of Ireland. This is an unbelievable. This is probably the most international table we've seen. Only one American still standing with eight to go, and it's Bullock. But Peshu from France, Boyer from Canada, Gao from the Philippines, O'Rourke from Ireland, Idan Raviv out of Holon, Israel, right now on that final table as well, along with Jonas Christensen out of Denmark and Isaac Kawa out of Belgium. So an international field trying to take down this split format Hold'em tournament as they play down to an eight-handed final table on this one after finishing up heads-up play yesterday. Event number 35, the $3,000 horse, they are going to be getting underway here on that pretty shortly. They are down to 3. Matt Vengren trying to win a World Series poker bracelet here out of Henderson, Nevada, $3,175,000. Kevin Icofano, another dangerous player, at $1,390,000. And Daniel Adema looks for his third World Series of poker bracelet. He stands at $1,080,000. So a pretty intriguing final 3 in the event 35, the $3,000 horse tournament. Going to be duking it out today. Event number 36, another one that is closing in on a final table, the $1,500 Pot Limit Omaha event. Corey Wunstel leading the way out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, $1,217,000. Kevin Saul trying to chase him down here. He's at $740,000, followed by Kevin Allen out of Romford, the United Kingdom, at $700,000. Shane Abbott in fourth, followed by Matt Colvin, Dmitry Valuev, Joshua Beckley, Jim Karabinas, Clemens Manzano, Bryce Fox, Chelsea Gelber among that top group. Not any real big names in that one, and actually do have 2 eliminations off that as they started the day with 19 players. They're down to 17. Our N.A. Levy, only got a Levy out of that, eliminated along with Marcel Vonk. So 17 players still standing in the Pot Limit Omaha $1,500 event number 36. Event number 37, the $10,000 No Limit Hold'em six-handed championship. A lot of big money on the line on this one, as these guys are playing down for a $657,350 championship prize. 5 players are going to be in 6 figures on this one. And right now, Doug Polk, once again, coming in, leading the way. Of course, you may remember him coming back and saying he would be able to handle Dan Negranda, no problem. Polk, $1,443,000, followed by Kenneth Fishman at 1.2, and look who's hanging around there again, Paul Volpe, 2 runner-ups in this World Series, and he is now got another shot to win another bracelet this year. He is at $896,000. Fedor Holes, $841,000. Kevin Songstitz at $661,000. Followed by Byron Caverman. Sam Greenwood, looking for his second World Series of Poker bracelet this year, is in 7th. Chris Klodnicki, Sloppy Claude, still in this one, along with Fernando Brito, Olivier Bousquet, another deep run for him, Thomas Muhlacher, and Mark Radoja. Of course, he's won a bracelet before here, looking to try and come off that short stack on $143,000 to catch up and get it done. So Doug Polk right now in the driver's seat in event number 37, the $10,000 No Limit Hold'em six-handed championship. Event number 38, that one got underway yesterday. $3,000 No Limit Hold'em event, ended up with 989 players, just about $2.7 million in the prize pool. And with play back underway, Chris Damachi gets the screenshot right now, $214,900. Jorge Breda at $192,800. Sortiros Katopas out of Vienna, Greece, $175,000. Nick Eunice, hey, there's a buddy of mine. Of course, we faced off heads up down at Seminole Hard Rock in the charity series of poker event down there. Nick kicked my tail at $163,000. Eric Afrad in there. Jesse Sylvia at the top of that big board, too. Let's run down some of the names. Maria Ho is in there. Tristan Wade in the top part of that group. Let's see who else we got. Justin Zaki in there at 26 to start the day. And I think we're going to just about stop there. So that's and Bobby Abudi in 37th. So 297 players left in that one. Still a long way to go, obviously, in event number 38. Event number 39, the 10-game mix. $1,500 tournament. Of course, you're going to see a lot of those mixed game players duking it out in there. Eric Wasserson, leading that group of 89. He stands at $85,350. Elia Larezra, another deep run for him. He stands at $82,325. Let's see. Then you have Guy Herveni at $70,100. Dan Matsuzuki at 69.1. Oh my God, everybody's testing me today. Alex Dovchenko at 64,025. Lon Schwartz up there as well, former bracelet winner. Awas Ahmed, Bruno Fatuzzi. A lot of big names still hanging around there, including David Levy and Sir Watts in event number 39, the $1,500 10-game mixed tournament. Of course, the big one. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. That was a rough day yesterday. The $1,000 Seniors No Limit Hold'em tournament underway. A lot of people thought this is going to could be a down year for this event. And not so much. We have 4,019 entries into this one. And, of course, still very early in the tournament. That got started at 10 o'clock today, so they're only a few levels in. Mark Krensky gets the screenshot on there at 14,500. Pierre Neuville, George Pacert, Stanley DeLond listed as your early leaders in this one. Alan Schulman is in this. Let's see some other notables. Oklahoma Johnny Hale in there. Robert Marconi, former world champion, playing today. Barry Schulman in there. Kevin O'Donnell, Dennis Phillips among your notables. Looks like a couple early exits by Billy Baxter and Darvin Moon out of the seniors event early on here. That one just getting rolling. And then, of course, event 41, a $10,000 7-card stud high-low 8 or better championship event going on later on this afternoon starting at 4 o'clock. So that one will be a nice exclusive field for you. We'll see some more 7-card stud excitement. Of course, Brian Hastings took down the 10K earlier in this series. This is the high-low, so it should be a pretty good one there as we continue on with this World Series of Poker. It is already at event 41. Amazing. All right, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at the Player of the Year race and then some other stories. Huck Seed's back at it again. How about that? Getting a little, having some fun with everybody and some prop bets. And a stunning change of structures here in the middle of the World Series. You don't see that very often. We're going to take a look at all those stories and more when we come back here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're live from the World Series of Poker. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top-quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bub stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends. We supply everything else. Live it. Love it. Pokershop.com. There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at PokerNight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America. Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go? Heads up, everyone. It's time for the ABC Chinese Poker App Tip of the Day.
Try to make a good hand in all 3 rows. That's what makes the game both fun and challenging. Except for a big pair on top for Fantasyland, try to improve all the rows, not just maximize one while neglecting the others. For example, it's usually good to pass on a flush on the bottom if you can improve another row significantly instead. You have plenty of chances to catch the 5th diamond later.
Want to get in on the Chinese poker action with over 1 million games played every day? Download the ABC Chinese Poker app on your iPhone or iPad today. From Vegas to Miami and all over the world, it's the #1 Chinese poker app, ABC Chinese Poker.
Only a donkey would call my pre-flop bet with a deuce tray.
Hey, deuce tray is my lucky hand, and besides, they were suited. Man, I played that hand great.
That was a real share my pair hand.
Share My Pair, the best way to share your poker stories with friends, for free. Available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Download the app now.
Nevada poker players, it's time to get in the game with the Nevada Poker League. Play for free to win cash at every location, plus you also can win poker cruises and even a $10,000 World Series of Poker main event seat. It's a great way to play poker at no risk, make new friends, and build up your poker bankroll. The Nevada Poker League is never closed and is running games 7 days a week at a location near you. So what are you waiting for? Visit the NevadaPokerLeague.com right now for all the info. Don't wait. Play poker for free and cash in today with your friends at the Nevada Poker League.
Most poker websites drop you into a sea of videos and it's choose your own adventure time. You learn a lot of great moves from pros, but they don't teach you how they fit into your game. Isn't there a better way to learn tournament poker? We think so, and that's exactly what you'll get at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. We teach you how all the tactics of tournament play fit together into a comprehensive strategy topped by a 2-time WSOP bracelet winner. Use the link thepokeracademy.com/mark to get a free 166-page course guide when you sign up. That's thepokeracademy.com/mark.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here live from the World Series of Poker 2015 edition. We just keep stacking up shows, having a great time, dealing with the trolls, all sorts of fun stuff. Oh no. And some horrible news. Boy, I don't even want to ask for a live update on this, but you can come in if you want, Peter. Yeah, you can absolutely join us. Oh, but some devastating news for the poker world at this point. I am very sad to say that, unfortunately, and I'm sorry I got your headphones tangled here a little bit. There we go. That should take care of it. But unfortunately, we are joined. I'll even turn that microphone on for you, too. No, we're still caught? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's, yeah.
Hey, Mark.
I've been having all sorts of technical difficulties today, but unfortunately, Peter Blackhall
out
has been eliminated from the seniors event.
Well, wasn't the first.
Yeah, you weren't first.
Unfortunately, I wasn't the last either.
No, but, well, Peter, sorry to hear it, my friend.
Well, you know, I'm here in Vegas playing the World Series, so you can't complain about that.
No, absolutely not.
I got it in with Ace Queen, and guy called me. I've shoved it blind before the flop. I almost got him to fold, and he didn't. Damn it.
Well, you're gonna have a story to tell.
Yeah. No, it's all right. So I was committed, and I was sort of shortish stacks, so wasn't much else to do there but shove it and pray. So that's the way it goes.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about your experience. You know, a lot of players. You know, we talk about all the pros who sometimes I think take this event for granted. You know, this was your first chance to come all the way from Australia and play in the World Series. What was it like for you?
Outstanding. I mean, this is I mean, the room is just brilliant. The way the logistics and everything of getting set up. I mean, I can't say how much fantastic it is. It's really, really brilliantly done. You know, to actually fly halfway around the world and be here in Las Vegas and talking to you, and we had dinner the other night. That was great. And to sit down and play in the World Series, I mean, that's basically every poker player's dream, and I've lived it, and I can't wait to come back next year.
So let me ask you this, in terms of your mentality going into it, and just how you were feeling, and you know, with the excitement of doing this for the first time. If the next time that you play an event, what would you change? What you know, is there some things you can maybe tell some first time players that might be coming out here, maybe coming out and play the main event this year?
Well, personally, I think I prepared as well as I could. I don't believe that. I mean, I haven't played badly. I don't believe. You know, I won a couple of hands and really didn't have a lot to play with. But as far as setting up yourself to come and play, if you've never played here before, okay, the room is cold, so bring a jumper, all right, or a sweater from the States. And be prepared for the long haul. I mean, I've bought a little backpack with some bits and pieces in it, and water and what have you. The other one is if you need to go to the bathroom, pick the furthest restroom you can and make a bolt for it, because the lines are quite long. I did actually manage to get back and missed one hand, but it's I mean, there's over 4,000 people here, so really, I mean, the facilities are stretched to the limit, so you can understand that. Really, again, I mean, I've had a lot of support from home, on Facebook from you, of course, and your lovely wife, Kristen. We've, so many people have said nice things and put stuff up on Facebook and put things on my status, and I mean, you can't do something like this without the support of people. My partner Carolyn basically paid for my whole trip and my buy-in. My son Landon, who's with the Deaf Poker Association of Australia, he's got his friends in New Zealand sort of supporting me as well. People that I play with, sort of at home and in our local league, I've got messages from them. I mean, it's really nice. You come halfway around the world and people know where you are and what you're doing. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, congratulations. I mean, thanks, obviously, just I think a lot of players that play the World Series kind of take it for granted when it's for a lot of them to live near here, and it's like, hey, I'm just going to show up and play a bunch of events and do my thing, and but it's guys like you that drive this thing.
Well, you're talking obviously to a few of the players around the table. They're all from in and around the United States, obviously, and they were, I guess, hopefully a little pleased to sit down with an Australian, and we had a bit of chat and talked about a few things. It wasn't, we weren't talking the whole time, but it was nice to talk to people, and honestly, that is probably the best thing I will take away from being here in Las Vegas is the people I've met. Really nice people, and not just because I'm sitting here. You're a nice bloke, when you come to Australia, we'll look after you.
Okay.
Bring the family, it'd be awesome. The people, I'm staying at Treasure Island, the local, the little poker room they have there, they're, good luck today. Everybody knew I was playing. Everybody said congratulations. Great that you're here. People in the street you talk to, the vendors that are giving away tickets to shows and stuff,
Among other things. Among other things.
Among other things, yes. Among other, yes, that's right, yes. So, and you just, obviously the easiest thing is that I just start talking and people just want to hear me speak. Which is fortunate for me because I can talk under concrete. So, it's people enjoy the accent as much as me sort of talking to them about stuff, and it's just. What a great place to be in this time of year. It's winter in Australia now. It's summer here. The weather's fantastic. I'm disappointed. Oh, look, personally disappointed. I'm out even before the lunch break on the first day, but I was hoping to get through the first day. Didn't really get a good run, and so be it. But didn't get any bad beats. Didn't get frustrated or just sometimes that's just the way it goes. You don't get the cards, so such is poker. So every poker player should know that. So I don't know. I think probably what you said earlier about some of the players, not so much not appreciating the experience, but having been here a lot, they probably don't hold it in as high regard as not as high regard, I suppose. Maybe don't respect it as much as they should. But wow, this has just been a dream come true for me. It's fabulous.
Well, we're very happy, and I'm happy you got to make it over and got to have the experience.
Wow, I'm amazed. I'm still pinching myself that I'm even in Las Vegas, let alone anything else.
So what stood out to you in Las Vegas? Tell me a couple things real quick, because we have a bunch of other news stories I got to get to. But
look, I went to a couple of the displays and that, but certainly the one thing or the one item that I've been to so far was the Gangsters Museum at the far end of town.
Oh yeah, the Mom Museum. Yeah,
that was excellent. I would recommend that to anybody. I thought that was by far the best value for money and the most outstanding thing I've seen. Sort of local thing. There's $8 buses for 24 hours, and they're up and down the strip all the time. That's fantastic. Look, I know that Vegas is very over the top, and then over the top again, and certainly, our casino in Melbourne, could fit inside any casino here easily, and still have room. It is a attack on the senses. It's right in your face, and I know that. Look, I know a lot of people that would just. I know a lot of Australians who would think that's way too American, but I really liked it. I really liked the people, and I've just been awesome.
By the way, I got to laugh, by the way, because they're getting ready. It looks like we're getting ready to head to a break here in the seniors event, and this little scramble that everybody's kind of jumping out of the rooms early to hit the bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, it is.
It's like a running pee-pee dance kind of going on out here.
I think. I was surprised. I actually thought half the room would be in Depends. So but they would need to sort of jump up real quick. But no, the plumbing seems to be working, which is good. And when you get over 50, that's something you have to think about. Think about, Mark. When you get to 50, everything's got to be in working order.
Wow, I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, you haven't turned 50 yet, so
I'm getting there though.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
Getting up there.
But so I'm glad you had a great experience, Peter, and
brilliant, mate.
Now you get to enjoy Las Vegas for a couple days.
Well, yeah, I'll put my tail between my legs and sort of skulk back to my room at the Treasure Island and might go play the afternoon tournament there, and I'll just look.
You should come over and play the Plaza tournament tonight. I'm working over at the Plaza. You should come over and play the Plaza tonight.
Okay. What's
El Cheapo.
Oh,
yeah.
Where's the Plaza?
Yeah, not much. You don't
Where's
need
the
much.
Plaza? I don't know where the Plaza is.
That's downtown. You were close to it at the Mom Museum.
So. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah,
right.
Come on up.
Oh, we'll do that.
Let's
do that. We'll come to the Plaza tonight. That sounds cool. We'll do that.
Awesome.
But look, anybody who's thinking of doing this, and there's obviously people listening to the show who haven't been to the World Series, and whether they're here in the US or friends of mine in Australia, come over and do it, because this is just insane, and I'm just delighted to be here. It's a delight to meet you and your family. It's if you are coming from Australia, it does take a couple of days to actually remember to look the other way when you're crossing the street.
Thank you.
Because I nearly got run over a couple of times, but yeah, that's a bit. That's probably one of the most, I don't know, disconcerting things was getting your bearings and looking the right way down the street. But everything else,
you need a Boy Scout to take you around.
Well,
Is
you
that
do, yeah.
We'll put some up on the corners for you.
Dob. Do they go dib 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 dob 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 here in America?
Not that I know of.
Oh well, that must be an Australian thing. I don't know why they do that, but that's I know it was never in the Boy Scouts, but apparently that's what they do. So But
I'll take
yeah.
your word for it.
Hmm?
I'll take your word for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I could Google that. Yeah, look, everything about this town is just bigger and better than anything I could have imagined. But again, it's like going anywhere. You learn to find your way around fairly quickly. There's free shuttle buses from Harris down here to the Rio. The little bus that runs up and down the main strip 24 hours. It's $8. You can get on and off wherever you want. Finding I've never dined at a diner before, so I've been to Denny's every morning this week.
There you go.
And go up to Denny's and watch the organised chaos for breakfast and sit and have an American breakfast, which is very unusual for us in Australia. To actually have. Oh, okay, we'll have bacon and pancakes and sausage and all that sort of stuff. So, but look, apart from one or two minor things, people are the same everywhere, and I've met absolutely brilliant people while I've been here, and there's not much difference between us and you, apart from the funny accent.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Well,
that's fantastic.
And the seniors are heading on break right now, so you're probably going to hear a little extra crowd noise as these guys.
And there goes a scooter. There's another scooter. I think they're racing.
It's very dangerous in the hallways during the seniors tournaments.
It is. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you have to deal with players plus vehicles a little bit more frequently. So these guys are just getting out here trying to scramble on their break. The hallway's filling up down here.
Yeah.
We're already about 2/3 of the way down and more coming.
What we would say would be as full as a public school hat rack.
Okay. I got that.
Yeah, you got that? Yeah,
I got that. Yeah, I got hat rack, cats, kids,
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so our players are just getting out here on the break. And we are going to let's see, what time is it? We're at 2:32, so we got a couple minutes. I don't want to go away during a break. I want to entertain the gang here a little bit. So let's take a look at
Cowboy. I met Cowboy. Hey, mate.
Hey.
I'm out, mate. I'm done. Hey, Cowboy.
We got a Cowboy.
Mate. Yeah. I'm done. Good. Keep going, mate. I'm watching for you. Yeah. So again, there's one of the players who I met earlier. We were having a bit of a chat. Cowboy, and guess what? He's from Texas. And
a shock! I couldn't tell.
The full regalia, which is like the boots, the hat, the whole lot. Really nice guy, and that's the sort of people I've met here while I've been here. You say hello, and basically you start up a conversation, and people are thrilled to hear that you're here from Australia, and it's nice to meet you guys here, and that's the best part. That's the best part about the trip is getting to meet the people. It's brilliant. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad you had a lot of fun. And speaking of some players that are also having fun right now, I want to take a look at the Player of the Year race we were just talking about before we hit. You got right before you got over here.
I'm not on that list. I'm guessing
you're not on that list.
Damn.
I'm very sorry. No points for you, unfortunately. No. But a lot of people do have points. Right now, our good friend Paul Volpe, his lead has been closed down, actually within under 20 points as of today. But that will change with Paul's current status in one of these tournaments that we have going on. Volpe leading the way, 1,258.56 points. Mike Gorodinsky made another final table. Of course, the man that lost to Phil Hellmuth earlier in this series. He stands at 1,240.08, followed by Phil Galfond with his bracelet win, moves up into third, and he's within shouting distance, so 1,113.19 points. Sean Deeb is at 1,049.82. Brian Hastings at 1,013.57. Jeremy Osmus has found his way towards the top of the board. Good for him. He's in sixth. Georgios Sotriopoulos, Ronald Lee, Ismail Bojang, and James Obst rounding out your top 10 so far. So Volpe with two runner-up finishes and is about to put another big cash up on the board. Let me get Paul's stats here in 1 second for you. They'll come eventually up. 4 cashes so far. So it should be a pretty interesting run here. We'll see if Paul can continue to try and win the World Series of Poker Player of the Year race, which a lot of people I know would be very excited to see that happen.
I would like to be on the bottom of that list.
Well,
at least.
You got to work your way up.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But an interesting article on Bluff.com that Paul Ornstein put up today was talking about some of the real big dogs in this thing right now and how they've been struggling. Phil Hellmuth, of course, has a bracelet and doing okay. He's entered 16 events so far. 2 day twos, 2 day threes, or 8 day twos, 2 day threes, and a final table, of course, winning a bracelet. And it's got himself up to a little over, he's 276,000 winnings. But then they were comparing Eric Seidel, Daniel Negreanu, Vanessa Selbst, and Phil Ivey. Seidel has entered 8 events, 4 day twos, 3 day threes, and a final table. He's at 100,000. Daniel Negreanu really struggling. Finally, just cashed the other day. 20, and this is kind of a crazy number when I'm looking at this, and this gets into the structure thing that we were coming up on. Negreanu has entered 20 events, 6 day twos, but only 1 cash for $6,226.
Yeah.
And he's made day 2 6 times in this World Series already. And that really speaks to the structure changes that were made, that it's been a lot harder for these guys to get through these fields and cash early on day 2, which has kind of been the tradition. But now it's coming late on day 2, making it very difficult. Vanessa Selbst, kind of in the same boat. She's only entered 6 events, 2 day twos, $7,155. And Phil Ivey's still yet to show his face, but we think he's on the way.
I don't feel so bad now.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
you're not much behind Vanessa.
Look, it's, and again, it's you've got to get the cards, and you've got to be able to, make those plays when you need to make them, and it's look. I don't care who you are, if you can't. I mean, obviously there's the element of bluffing and that involved, but you've got to be able to have that sort of chance to get your money in and get a pot out. So it's same with everybody. You just got to build it up as the day goes on, and sometimes you just you're not the cards aren't running your way,
yep,
and the game isn't running your way, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, and and talking about these guys having these long days and everything dragging out, there was a lot of complaints about these structures, especially in the limit tournaments, that have just been taking so long. And of course, a lot of these guys that like to play the mixed games have had their day twos drag out for quite a while, and then they're getting to the point where they're not even cashing on a day 2, and then having to hop into another tournament at 4 o'clock or beyond, and not getting a break, and it's been really wearing on them. Well, this is quite shocking, and I'm sure with Landon's experience dealing with setting up tournaments and your involvement as well, this is a very unique move because the Nevada Gaming Commission actually has allowed the World Series to change some of the structures during this World Series. If you can believe that,
not before.
Now during, so some of the lower buy limit events are being changed for the last four of those events on the 2015 schedule. So if you guys are planning on playing these events, be aware that there have been some structure changes. Event 39, which is 1,510 game mix, that started yesterday. They made the announcement, so let's look at the ones that got changed. Actually, Event 39 did get changed. Event 48, that's $1,500 7-card stud. Event 52, the $1,500 dealer's choice. And Event 65, the $1,500 7-card stud high-low, all have had their structures changed. And what they did was they removed one of the levels, one level at the 100-200, the 150-3, and the 200-400, and then they added in a 250-500 level, a 12-24, and a 10,000, 20,000. So they kind of balanced it out, making day 2 kind of the drag-it-out day as opposed to day 1. So some pretty interesting. The Nevada Gaming Commission loosened up on that because that never happens.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that, and Jack even said, this is courtesy of Poker News, he said it was a simple fix. Just wanted to make it right for the guys for the last 4 events. But boy, I don't know. They added these chips in, and they wanted to make it structures more friendly for players like you that were coming in here. But it actually turned out to be a disaster for a lot of a lot of the pros, and it's always that balance between, do you do the right things for?
Well, there's always a fine line. There's always a balancing act going on. I thought myself, well, again, Event 40 is the only event I came out here for. Our blinds, 5K start stack. I've got no complaints, but obviously, I think that changing structures, while the events are about to start, or this whole thing sort of started, I don't think's right. You can't sort of be half in and half out. You've got to, if you say to somebody, okay, this is what the structure's going to be, and this is what we're going to do, this is the game it's going to be, and this is the structure, stick to it. If you then want to change it after the event, you say, okay, next year we're going to do this, and this. Mm-hmm. Don't be half in and half out. Make it, this is what it's going to be. Then everybody knows what it's going to be, and then they sit down. You can't sort of chop and change.
It is a very difficult quandary because obviously, they made some mistakes on this. At least, according to quite a few professional players, they screwed this up, and there are players that bought into a tournament. With a structure posted, and that's why I'm really shocked that they allowed these changes to happen, because it's unprecedented. The NGC mandates that the structure goes up, and once it's up, and one person buys into that tournament, you're not making a change.
Yeah.
So this is quite a reversal of form.
Well, they shouldn't be changing things when people have already bought in based on the information they already have.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just change stuff as you go because you want to. Like I said, if you look, I know that there's been changes this year to some of the events. They brought in the Colossus, and I know for a fact that the Event 40 they increased the chip stack. I think it was 3,000 last year. It was 5,000 this year. I looked that up online 6 months ago. I knew what after the new year the events come out and things. So I was actually looking at that, in January in Australia and going, okay, that's great. I really like that structure. I like the buy-in. I like the chip stack. I'm ready to rock and roll.
No, and there's a preparation factor too. Yeah. Saying you're ready. There are some guys out there that say, okay, I'm going to play one event or I'm going to play two events. They practice.
Yeah,
they'll play. They'll set up the structure in their basements and get a bunch of guys together and say, "Hey, let's play this a little bit and see how it feels and what goes on and and simulate a little bit." So that's a little tough on them.
I agree. I personally, I've always liked a long tournament. That's one of the things that I like about the structure they have here. I'm a much better tournament player. I like playing cash, but I'm a much better tournament player than I am a cash player. And to be sitting for quite a number of hours and playing and looking at people and getting reads on people and being patient and getting your money in good and all that's the sort of tournament I like. The longer it goes, the better I get. That's the sort of tournament I like to play. That's me personal, but everybody's different. And look, I've been preparing for this event for, literally from the first day I decided that this is what I wanted to play. Yep. And that's, 3 or more years ago. Just before I sort of turned 50, I looked at the World Series and said, well, if I ever get the chance, I'll go and play the seniors event because I qualify, and that looks like the kind of tournament that would suit me. And here I am in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So, people pick and choose what they want and what they're comfortable with and what their strengths and weak strengths are. I'm not going to fly, halfway around the world, to put my money in and play the 7-2 low ball or something because I know I'm going to last about 6 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure you're better than 6 minutes.
Yeah. You'll have to ask the girlfriend. She'll tell you. No, that's
fair.
Another story.
Hey now,
that's another story.
Hey now. By the way, TJ Cloutier going by. We just a little while ago saw Robert Varconi, the former world champion, headed into the poker kitchen. So it's getting a little packed out here.
Yep,
things getting a little bit crazy as the guys are looking to get back inside and get back at it here in the seniors event. But a very
filling up and emptying out, I think, is what's going on.
Yeah. bathroom breaks are generally done. They're just ready to get back in there and play.
That's great.
Now, speaking of which, speaking of some of these guys that are here, a group of players has been going around and distributing T-shirts, including Joe Beavers, John Kalmar, Simon Trumper, and some others, in honor of Dave Devilfish Elliott, and trying to support him getting into the Poker Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So there is, and I know that Johnny Hale mentioned him earlier today in his opening speech, which some people were kind of busting his chops on Twitter about. What I was kind of surprised. They said it was too long. I think one person called it kind of a self-indulgent speech, but Oklahoma Johnny Hale's been doing, he's been doing that since the seniors
I thought it was
started.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, recognized a lot of past players.
Yeah.
Players that have, gone, that we've lost, unfortunately. So, so right now and obviously there's a big push at this point for Devilfish to get into the Hall of Fame. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of battling about this because, of course, there's some big names that are going to be on the ballot next year. So it should be pretty interesting to see what kind of push he gets because of only getting 2 players in the Hall of Fame, which I think it's time to expand that a little bit.
Well, I guess your football or your NFL Hall of Fame, like our AFL Hall of Fame, the players that get sort of submitted for, that Hall of Fame recognition, I don't know, is there a set criteria, or is there something that they need to work out before they sort of put the name up? And certainly, Devilfish is up there to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I would think, okay, he'd be sort of somebody I'd know that should be up there.
I'm trying to, and unfortunately, I had some Hall of Fame information, but I didn't have last year's nominees just to kind of give you, an idea of.
Is there somebody that, or is there a committee that takes?
Yeah, the public nominations are open, and then there's a committee that selects the 10 that then are elected into the Poker Hall of Fame.
We'll see.
Based on those, I'm trying to find the.
I know that our AFL, which is for those of you playing in America, the Australian Football League Hall of Fame. You basically have to be out of the game for X number of years. There's obviously getting qualified. Have you coached? What awards have you won? Whether you've been in like a premiership, which is equivalent to our sort of Super Bowl.
Yeah. In the Poker Hall of Fame, you got to be 40 years old, and you have to have made contributions to the game, and been a lot of there's the high stakes player clause that a lot of people kind of they want you to be a top player as well as or having made a major contribution. And just looking at this list from last year, real quick. Of course, Daniel Negreanu and Jack McClellan got in last year. Yeah. Chris Bjorn's back on is going to be out there. Umberto Brenes, Bruno Fatuzzi, Ted Forrest, Jen Harmon, Bob Hooks, Mike Matiso, Huck Seed were the other 8, and of course, there's been many more that dropped off that list before. So now, not only do you have to, you got to kind of think that if Dave gets on this list, he wasn't even a nominee last year.
Yeah.
So you're not only going to make a push for him to get on in a group that he did not get into last year, but to also be one of the final 2 that gets elected. Yeah. So I mean that's going to be a pretty tough process, and it's I know like Chris Bjorn, for example, is having some health problems. A lot of people were really pushing to see Chris get in, and he didn't make it. So what do you do with the situation with the Devilfish?
Do they have a legends category, or is
it's 2 players every year.
That's just I know that that in our game again I don't know about baseball or NFL, but in our football we have a legends. So there's the hall. You get nominated for the Hall of Fame, which is not so much every man and his dog, but the high rated players, and then you have a legend status. So obviously someone like easy name Doyle Brunson's a walk-up start, and there's Amarillo Slim. There's another walk-up start for absolute legend status. So, you can take a picture and send one to me, Mum. That's fine. We're getting our picture took. Awesome.
I'm just praying to God the camera doesn't get, but my camera is on very precarious ground today.
No worries.
Yeah,
So,
okay, we're safe. Whew.
Yeah, look, again, I know that a lot of people are going to vote for whoever they think should be into the Hall of Fame. And at the end of it, 2 people will get in, and then, you know, a lot of people will stand around and, well, why didn't X, Y, or Z get in?
Yeah,
So,
and it's very difficult. I mean, I advocated last year that,
Yeah.
you know, I think that we've had enough. You know, it's not like when the Hall of Fame started that there weren't that many people that you would look at and say, you know, this guy, you know, there's a ton of people that should be in. So they really did keep it limited. But I think we're at the point now where 2 is just not enough, and you know, we have too many players that made too many great and people that have made great contributions to the game, and I think they're going to have to really take a hard look at expanding how many people get in. And I know a lot of purists like to say, well, you know, it's the Hall of Fame. You know, we don't want a lot of people to get in. But I don't think there would be the harm in 3 or even doing some, you know, with the panel that does the voting, to give them do like the Baseball Hall of Fame does here in the United States, where if you get 75% of the vote to be in, you're in. So it's going to be tricky. I mean, this is going to be a real difficult situation, and I know there's a lot of sympathy to get Dave into the Hall of Fame, but at the same time, when you're limiting it to 2 players, and you know, you've got somebody like Mike Matusow on that list, or Chris Bjorn. It's hard. It's going to be really hard.
And I asked this question purely because I've worked as a tournament director, and is the Hall of Fame only limited to poker players?
Oh, it's a little bit. It's contributors in there too. Just to clarify,
because,
what the criteria is. You must have played poker against acknowledged top competition. Minimum 40 years old. Played for high stakes. Played consistently well, gaining the respect of peers. Stood the test of time. Or for non-players, contributed to the overall growth and success of the game of poker. With indelible, positive, and lasting effects. So that's why guys, you know, like Jack McClellan are in there, even though Jack did play, but you know, Eric Drake is in there, and you know, quite a few others that made major contributions to the game.
Can I just break in and ask a question?
Yeah.
Why are they playing God Save the Queen?
Because we had a bracelet winner.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Yeah.
So English.
Yeah, right now bracelet.
Where did that come from? Right, okay.
Yeah, bracelet ceremony's going on in there right now.
Okay, that explains it. That's fine. Sorry.
Did it make you a little twitchy?
I did I miss something? No, that's not our national anthem. I just wondered why we had the English national anthem going on there.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. Okay, I didn't know that. So there, I've learned something new.
Congratulations.
Cool.
All right, well, we're going to step back, take a break, and we have a couple more things we want to look at before we get out of here today. Of course, we're live here at the World Series of Poker. Peter Blackhall,
live
unfortunately, is sitting with us, which kind of sucks.
I do like you, Mark, but I'd rather not be sitting here next to you.
I'd rather you weren't either.
Nah.
But
nothing
it's okay.
personal. It's nothing personal, I assure you.
It's all good. All right, so we're going to step back, take one more break, and we'll be back to wrap up today's edition of the Mark Hoke Show, live from the World Series of Poker. So stick around, everybody, and we will be right back.
Nevada poker players, it's time to get in the game with the Nevada Poker League. Play for free to win cash at every location, plus you also can win poker cruises and even a $10,000 World Series of Poker main event seat. It's a great way to play poker at no risk, make new friends, and build up your poker bankroll. The Nevada Poker League is never closed and is running games 7 days a week at a location near you. So what are you waiting for? Visit the NevadaPokerLeague.com right now for all the info. Don't wait. Play poker for free and cash in today with your friends at the Nevada Poker League.
PokerShop.com is your one-stop shop for all your poker and game room needs. PokerShop.com has you covered with an incredible variety of poker chips and supplies, top quality playing cards, plus gaming tables and room accessories, just like you'd find in your favorite casino. And if you're looking to spruce up your man cave, we offer a wide selection of decor options, from lighting to mirrors and portable bars to bump stools, to make your game room the one all your friends and family will be talking about. So for everything you need to make your game night a great night, go to www.pokershop.com and receive 10% off your purchase with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You supply your friends, we supply everything else. Live it, love it. PokerShop.com. There's nothing better than sitting down to play poker with good friends and cutting loose. And that's what you're going to find when you tune in to Poker Night in America. Poker Night in America is revolutionizing televised poker in a big way, with all the action you love and the hilarious fun you've been missing. Come take a seat at the table with all your favorite players, old and new, with Poker Night in America. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network. And don't forget to visit the show online at pokernight.com. So pull up a chair and join us Mondays on Poker Night in America.
Poker players, do you suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect? That's the mental quirk of thinking you're better at something than you really are. So what's the quickest way to improve your game? How about over 25 hours of training with a 2-time WSOP bracelet winner? That's what you'll get at thepokeracademy.com. It's a completely different kind of training site. It's the only training site that starts at the beginning and explains everything you need to know to become a world-class tournament player. Use the link thepokeracademy.com/mark to get a free 164-page course guide when you sign up. That's thepokeracademy.com/mark.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, and we are back with the Flying Australian, Super Aussie.
Oh, good. There we go.
Yeah. Peter Blackhall.
We're so much happening over here, mate. I'm done.
I hear you, brother. All right, so for some bracelets getting given out here at the World Series of Poker. Someone carrying In-N-Out burger bags. Oh, that's right. You better hide that food. I haven't had lunch yet.
What an In-N-Out? What's an In-N-Out burger?
It's.
I thought an In-N-Out was like a belly button.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, right. In-N-Out. What's
it is?
I thought an In-N-Outy was like a belly button.
No, this is a burger place.
Oh, right. Okay.
That used to be legendary. I Five Guys better, but I'll start a fight about that too. Okay. People start yelling at me on Twitter about anything.
Yeah.
Apparently, so we gotta watch that a little bit. I want to stay more fighting words out there.
Yeah, that's always a good way to start a fight, is to just state your opinion, Mark.
I know. It's amazing how you're not allowed to have your opinion sometimes.
No.
But anyway, speaking of opinions, boy, a hell of a lead in there. Very nice. So Mac Lance, of course, one of the most respected people in poker right now, did an op-ed piece for Bluff.com saying the World Series of Poker is losing its luster. He is disappointed in what's going on right now. I did read this, and
what's his name?
Well, first he was talking a lot about the structure situation that we had mentioned earlier.
Yep. Well, that's fair enough.
So that was brought up. Another thing that was brought up was the playing cards. Of course, we have the new brand of cards in here.
Okay. Yep, they're Italian.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with them.
Well, a lot of players have concerns, and honestly, I got to play with them too.
Yeah.
And they were a little flimsy.
Oh, okay.
They were a little flimsy.
Can I say from someone that's come from overseas? Yeah, I thought a little thinner than normal.
Yeah. And this is not the place to have thin cards.
Yeah. Well, I personally I didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. The cards that the other casinos that I've played at, the cards in the other casinos I've actually found really flimsy. in relation to the cards that they actually have at Crown Casino in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I've noticed, and this is please no disrespect to anybody here in the States, the dealers that we have in Australia have a slightly better technique than what you guys have here.
Oh,
so there you go.
Now those are fighting words around here.
Fighting words. There was one guy that was, well, it's from what I saw today, there's only one guy on a table that I thought, well, his was the best technique that I've ever seen, that I'd seen here so far. And I just so people know, I actually do work as a professional dealer from time to time for Striker Poker when you come down to Australia.
There you go.
Okay, throw a plug in there. And my son is a tournament director and poker dealer and blackjack dealer, so I've learnt from the best, basically, well, those of you know my son Leonard, log on to Queen Slipper playing cards and you'll actually see him dealing on there, how to shuffle and deal. There's a little YouTube video. So I've actually learnt how to deal properly and how to shuffle properly, and so I'm not just a novice at this, okay? But I just that I personal, on a personal opinion, I think that the dealers in Australia have a slightly better technique. So there you go.
Ooh, I'm gonna get a few of my friends.
Well, I'm gonna get
I'm gonna get a few of my friends. They might have something to say about that. We got a Aussie Millions duel next time around.
Can we have a shuffle and deal off? That'd be fun.
Well, you guys can knock yourselves out on that one.
I'll get Landon over here, mate. He's 10 times better than me, and I don't think I'm too bad. So
yeah, you better dig up your best. I'm going to warn you on that right now.
No worries.
Yeah, but a lot of people were very upset that. Oh, look, there's Heather. Heather, where are you going?
Hi, Heather.
Well, I'm on air at the same time just about every day down here. So, the greatest masseuse here at the World Series of Poker, Heather Davis. She's amazing. I love her.
Is she old enough to be here? She's stunning. You're welcome.
There you go. Anyway, back to the playing cards. A lot of the players saying that they've been having a tough time identifying the face cards, that the clubs and the spades are pretty close together, so that's been a little bit of a problem.
That's a fair statement, yes.
And
okay.
And the cards have been much more easy to mark in the past.
Yeah.
So, and actually the series addressed that issue as well, because they are having Modiano bring in new custom-made cards to finish the World Series. So those are actually on the way here.
Okay.
So kind of interesting. But I was a little surprised at the card. You know, I thought they were a little bit flimsy myself when I played. Yeah. From what I've seen, well, but I'm a chem guy too. You know, give me a. I don't like to play with cheap playing cards. I like to play with this nice solid plastic chem.
I have a nice set of Copag at home. When you come down, we'll have a game with my Copag. So no
okay.
Yeah, we've got everything.
Yeah, Copag's all right too.
Yeah.
Also said that the lack of media coverage has been a major factor in the lack of excitement this year.
Lack of media coverage. What are we?
Well, no poker news.
Oh,
which is what it basically comes down to.
Well, here you are putting yourself on the line every day, Mark, and get out there and listen to the Mark Hoke show. That's what I reckon. Anyway.
Well, it's funny because I this doesn't really have anything to do with decision, but I wasn't even going to be here up until a week before the World Series when I got told I had a table because I was trying to get a booth set up, and I won't get into the whole story.
Yeah.
I turned down the offer, and but then I got notified that they wanted me to come down, so here I am.
And so you should be. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a friend of Mark. I'm saying that the more media that's here, the more that people see and learn and understand about what's going on, and they're getting it firsthand. They're not getting it, from my mate who and his best friend and his dog who played at the World Series. They told me, that their mate, he played and he reckons that this happened or that happened.
Right.
Find out. I've always said, never go off half cocked. Go off fully cocked. Find out your facts first. Find out what's going on. And this is people. And I'm not just saying this because Mark's here. This is the best place to learn what's going on every day. So
Yeah, because I actually talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat much around here. Of course, last year talked about. I remember some players.
Sugarcoating? You got in trouble for not sugarcoating.
Hey, you know what? That's okay.
And that's exactly what should happen.
That's okay. I mean, last year we were talking about, and I know one player mentioned that to me in a tweet that I was talking about what was going on with the muggings and everything last year, and I did. I was the only person who was talking about the parking lot security issues that were happening, and the players that were having money taken out of their rooms here at the Rio. We talked about it on the show, and I'm sure that didn't make the World Series or some people very happy, but it's kind of how it goes. But yeah, but they were talking about that, and the MyStack app, and this is one that I am wholeheartedly on board with on Matt, because the MyStack app was what Poker News used, that everybody could send in what they have, and you get your name on the leaderboards and everything else. And now you're kind of at the mercy of if the WSOP media team picks you out or not, early in the tournament. If they don't know you, and they you don't happen to end up in a key hand, they don't write about you, and so I think that kind of takes away, because you used to be able to say, hey, check it out, my name's on the leaderboard at the World Series of Poker, even if you were kind of you didn't have many chips. But that's kind of a thrill for people. I mean, for somebody like you to get your you could send a text and say, hey, it's screenshot, my name's up there, screenshot it, so I have it.
I got my head on one of the Poker News reports back when I was playing the Wild Turkey Grand Slam in Melbourne. Now, it also helps that my son was actually working for Poker News at the time. He was overseas.
Yeah, that didn't hurt.
And it didn't hurt. He was actually overseas in Macau, I think, at the time, reporting on the tournament in Macau. And I was back here in Australia, playing the Wild Turkey Grand Slam, which is a 888 APL, which is our local league's big event at Crown. And I was playing very well, and one of the guys actually wandered over the table who knew who I was and was railing it, and I had a very nice article written about me. I was a judge, jury, and executioner in one hand, and I did actually take out 2 players in one hit, which was good. So, and he was there to watch it. So, and I got my head in and ended up sort of with a fairly good chip stack. I ended up cashing that event, good chip stack, and got my head in again, so a little bit later on. So it's, and I guess for me, I'm an amateur player, I suppose. To get your head in the media and even sit here, it's a big thrill. It's good fun.
And I think that the live reporting team has done an okay job, but there's not a lot of the features. There's not a lot of the extra stuff, and I know it. I had talked to the World Series before this whole thing started, saying I'd like to see, I'd like to help out and do some features and do some different type of stuff for you.
People like to see their name in a magazine or on paper or on the feed or whatever it is. People love it. I guarantee you. It's the best part.
Yeah, so it's a little, and I'm not saying they've done a bad job, but. Like early in the series, one person mistook Raymond Davis for Paul Darden, or Paul Darden for Raymond Davis, or other way, whatever it was. But that was a little rough. But I'm not going to bang on those guys too hard, because I know they're working hard. But you would like to see more to the coverage than just the basics. When you have a staff like this, that should be done. Then of course Matt also got into the cage issues. The food offerings didn't change, and they're expensive. We all know this.
In the restaurant here behind us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's been so Matt is really just saying, hey, it's he's actually considering not coming back, and and apparently there's talk from a lot of other players saying that, man, it's just it's not what it used to be, and I hear what he's saying. I think he, obviously 2 of these points already just got addressed by the World Series of Poker. So it's some of it, that's just things they're going to have to look at down the road. But they're also talking about a player panel too, and then that started something today with Kevin Mathers and and Ty Stewart talking about there's a non-existent player this player panel that doesn't exist anymore, and never really did, to be honest with you. It was just a group of players that they'd say, do this, and would kind of be the buffer between the World Series and the players if something went wrong. But there's no advisory panel either, and that's something they need to look at.
You want the players represented, and look, and again, I'm speaking from miles of inexperience here, because this is my first time here, and I found everything great. There are certain things that You know, if I came back next year, I would sort of probably do differently, or I know things now that obviously I didn't know 3 or 4 days ago. As long as they improve the game and they improve the game for the players and for the public, you know, it's a good thing. And okay, I think what we mentioned before, changing structures when a tournament's already begun, no, I don't think that's right. Do it at the end. And again, you're right, you know, there should be a selected number of players, or whatever players they are, to say, well, and even tournament directors or people within the industry, much like yourself, I'll even throw your hat in the ring there, who sit down and say, okay, what is it that we can improve on, and how can we do it? And, you know, not everything's going to be able to be done, because it's this
well,
whole
you're not
event
going to
is
make everybody
huge.
happy.
You know, you're not going to make everybody happy,
Yeah.
and not everything's going to be perfect. But, you know, you certainly need that representation of people to say, well, okay, this is what I'm hearing from, you know, a lot of people I'm speaking to. You know, they've all said that, okay, we'll go back to the cards are flimsy and they're hard to see. You know, okay, well, that's something that should be addressed immediately after the World Series.
Or
you know.
well, and they address it during
and
too.
They're doing it now. Yeah.
You know.
So, you know, there's no if, buts, or maybes with something like that. You know, that's fair comment. You know, things like, you know, look, they do have a, well, I'll even put up something, you know, look, there is lots of lineups for the bathrooms here, and okay, could they get a couple of public toilets in here or something, or, you know, a little something out in the back, sort of.
Yeah, they do have some toilets
Yeah,
out.
okay, they do.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. So
Still not enough.
Yeah, well, and look, and
But-
that, okay, we'll let that one slide. That's fine. Look, there's a kitchen facility behind us. You can eat pretty easily. You can bring stuff with you. I mean, I've got a backpack with all my stuff in it. So, you know, there's ways around different things. If you're not really happy with something, then, you know, surely there's an alternate. You can make plans yourself. You know.
Right. And I think the World Series, you know, especially this year, has done a very nice job of when players have addressed concerns. And it started from the main event announcement that they were going to do the $10 million again, and then, you know, for the main event, and then backed off of it, and you know, because a lot of the players said, you know, that's, you know, the better way to do it is spread the payouts out more and have more people get paid. You know, and to their credit, they changed it, and they do a lot of great things. I mean, you know, in terms of, you know, like running the Colossus, for example, logistically was incredible. They kept that tournament running as smooth as I think anybody could have ever imagined.
I know some of my friends came from Australia and actually played the Colossus, and I can't imagine how you would organise 22,000 people like that. I think that's outstanding. And look, I know there was naysayers and people who said that, you know, the payout wasn't correct and, you know, blah blah blah. But you're right, you're not going to please everybody. And look, you know, I mean, I've worked in logistics pretty much all my life. So at the end of the day, at the end of the tournament, whenever that finishes, and I don't know that exact date off the top of my head, you know, okay, you pack things up and you sit down and you say, okay, what did we do right? What did we do wrong?
Yep.
You know, let's look at how we can help people and improve things and do things better. And it doesn't matter whether it's poker or whether it's, well, I can tell you, you know, something like horse racing or football or cricket or NFL or, you know, the NFL, and you know as well as I do that football teams and baseball teams sit down at the end of their season and go, right,
this is what
are we going to do next year?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the same all over the world. They do that in Australia too. We sit down and we say, okay, my football team at the moment is just crap. So, we're on the bottom of the ladder. We're about 1 for 10. We're shocking. So at the end of the season, we hope they've already dumped our coach. So we're already hoping at the end of the season they get someone half decent and we can rebuild the side. But every football team or every cricket team or baseball team or whatever it is, World Series of Poker, sit down at the end of the event and go, right, what else can we do to make it right? You know, and like you were saying, there should be a panel of people that they can sort of say, well, okay, what's your opinion? What do you think we can improve upon, or what do you think we've done right?
Right.
And you don't want people that are just going to be critical all the time. You want people that are going to say, well, okay, we think that this was just fantastic. This bit that we saw or we were personally involved in, this was awesome.
Yep.
But we didn't really like this part of it. Oh, there you go, the cards, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, don't just be negative for the sake of being negative. And look, my personal experience, I've flown halfway around the world to be in Las Vegas to play the World Series event. Mate, I've had a ball. Okay, I was out before the lunch break on the first day of an event I'd planned for 4 years. Okay, let's start, loading up the piggy bank for next year. I think
There you
that's
go.
probably the way to do it. And that's I've had a blast. No complaints here. I've had an absolute blast. And I've still got a week and a bit to go before I go home. So
there you go.
Look out.
Oh boy, this is not going to be good. Well, I tell you what. Before we get off the air here, now we mentioned got about into Matt's blog there. Let's take a look real quick at some of the tournaments that are going on right now because we do have some final tables and the other one's getting pretty close to it. Event 34, Chris Bolick in the $1,500 split format Hold'em tournament, still leading the. Actually, I better refresh that just to be on the safe side here. Yeah, Bolick still out in front, 1.35 million. Erwin Pachu in second, 1.12. Isaac Kawa has.
Hang on.
Click.
All right. I've just sent I'm sitting here talking to you, so Landon will know I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my son, by the way.
Yep. Isaac Kawa has been knocked off that final table, but it is Bolick, Pachu, Boyer, and Gao. But that one is really close. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's about as tight as you're going to get with a middle group between 768,000, 850,000. So anyone's ball game for event number 34. Event number 35. And, oh, baby, look at this. Daniel Adema is trying to pick up bracelet number 3. He is now heads up as Kevin Icafano is out. Matt Vengren, who led the way, still there, but he now trails Daniel Adema. Adema at 3,540,000. Vengren at 2,100,000. So Daniel Adema looking for his third World Series of Poker bracelet. Just be another example. One of the guys that top pros that's been here before, getting it done. Event number 36. That is the $1,500 pot limit Omaha tournament. They are now down to 11. Corey Wunstall still leading the way. He is at 1,835,000. Kevin Saul at 1.445 million. And just looking, not one of the notables in that one. So Kevin Saul, top pro left in that one, but they are down to 11 in event number 36. And event number 37, that one also looking like that should wrap up today. 12 players left in the $10,000 No Limit Hold'em 6-handed championship. Fedor Holes out of Vienna, Germany, leading that at 1.795 million. Doug Polk was the leader, but probably can't fault him for Holes picking up some chips. Polk at 1.51 million, still probably the favorite, one of the favorites in that one. Sam Greenwood looking for bracelet number 2 in this series, 930,000 in third, and Paul Volpe is in fifth at 700,000. Byron Caverman has moved up to 6th. You got Olivier Bousquet at 8th, Chris Klodnicki in 9th, Kevin Song 11th, Mark Radoja in 12th. So that is going to be fun. You should go watch that. It's going to be a fun one to see. So that is the events where we have only a few players left in this one. So there you go. That's what's going on at the World Series of Poker. Boy, we covered a lot of ground here.
It's happening everywhere, mate. Don't worry about that. It's awesome.
Unbelievable. All right. So I think that's going to wrap up our show today, too. Actually, before we go, though, I suppose we better take care of our sponsors here real quick. Just want to remind everybody about all of our great people that are supporting the show here real quick, because we do have some pretty good deals
You got to pay everybody
out there, too. Yeah, we definitely got to do that.
Yeah.
And, of course, let me kill the scroll here. I'm going to skip to the next one because that's my logo. Everybody sees that. ThePokerAcademy.com. Make sure you guys go to ThePokerAcademy.com/Mark. You're going to get a free 166-page course guide to go along with Rep Porter's tournament knowledge and expertise in his videos, guiding you the whole way through tournaments. Check it out at ThePokerAcademy.com/Mark and have some fun with these guys. And, of course, we have our friends at ABC Chinese Poker. Do you have ABC Chinese Poker on your phone?
No.
Download it right now.
Okay.
ABC Chinese Poker. You got an iPhone, right?
I've got Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I can
You can
do
get
all
that.
sorts of stuff with this phone. It's amazing. It doesn't just make calls. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? And it
Yeah.
can play ABC Chinese Poker for the
Okay.
best ABC Chinese Poker app out there. Download that today. Our good friends at BlueRail.net, of course, our website provider, does all our work for us. Bob Lusk and the team there, ready to get the job done for you, whether it's e-commerce, business, personal, whatever you need. You know, if you want to get a Wombat tracking site, I bet Bob could do that for you too. Check it out at BlueRail.net.
Wombats need tracking. Don't worry about that.
All good.
You don't want to hit when you. By the way, when you come to Australia, you don't want to hit a wombat in a car. Okay.
Yeah, don't hit any wombats. But make sure you go to BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go? We have our good friends at PPC Poker Tour. 2 events coming up here in June. We've got the Tampa Bay Downs tournament, July 8th through the 12th, and we're going to be down also at Naples Fort Myers. So there's your second poker trip. Go to ppcpokertour.com and check out all the great events today, including the Aruba World Championships. That's going to be a hootenanny down there.
A what?
A hootenanny.
A hootenanny.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, I have heard that before.
Pokershop.com. We got 10% off all your poker supplies at pokershop.com. Maybe you should have just bought cards from pokershop.com. That would have solved the problem.
Well,
They would have got them.
Yeah. Well, obviously they've changed the supplier of cards. 'Cause
Yeah.
They usually get a better deal, but I always say if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know. So and obviously someone somewhere has made a decision based on
that something was broken.
Yeah.
So
and it's
so
not
go to
broken.
poker.
Yeah.
So don't get broken stuff. Go to
Yeah, yeah.
pokershop.com.
Get good stuff.
Tables, chairs, chips, cards, books,
Yeah.
bars, whatever you need, they've got it at pokershop.com. So make sure you stop over. Once again, code HOKE, HOKE, for 10% off your purchase. Nevada Poker
That's
League.
Hoke, kids, Hoke.
Yes. You guys can, you play Nevada Poker League event too while you're sitting here in town. 20 locations, all for you. You play for cash and prizes with the Nevada Poker League. It is absolutely free. Just tip the dealers. That's all they ask. Stop in and check out all locations at NevadaPokerLeague.com. Share my pair. Hey, you could share your bust out hand if you want to. Make a little video of it. You probably don't want to,
No,
but you could if you want. Then you don't have to tell everybody
I'm
a million
shattered.
times.
I'll be crawling into the fetal position somewhere soon and
Yeah.
sobbing my heart out.
Okay, well, don't do that.
No.
But play it, post it, share it with Share My Pair. Download that for your iPhone as well today. Of course, our wonderful friends, the Grindettes, Katie Stone, Katie Dozier, Jen Shahadi, and Jamie Kerstetter, all out there doing a great job in the poker community, representing well. Be sure to check them out at Grindettes.com, Facebook, the Grindettes, and Twitter at Grindettes. And let's see who's got. Oh, of course, our good friends at Poker Night in America.
Okay, wow.
Got to watch that show. CBS Sports Network, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday nights. CBS Sports Network for the best in televised poker. Check it out today at Poker Night in America.
By the way, anyone from Australia, there needs to be more televised poker in Australia.
There needs to be more televised poker, period.
They had the Aussie Millions not long before I left. It ran for about 6 weeks, and it was pretty dismal, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it's like, they just ran very heavy. Oh, not that it has to be edited, but it was just a bit on late at night. I would have liked to have seen it be a bit earlier and a bit more detail about what was going on. But
There you go.
Yeah,
There's
come
your
on.
Aussie Millions shot.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Go.
And of course, don't forget you can catch us on KSHP 1400 and in Las Vegas and KSHP.com Wednesdays at 5 p.m. on our big radio show. We have, of course, Mike Sexton on the last one
cool.
on our so the podcast is now up on iTunes and markhokeshow.podbean.com, where you can listen to all our past shows where I addressed some little controversy we talked about this weekend.
Yes, you did.
Plus having Mike Sexton on the show didn't hurt either. So make sure you guys check that out. Of course, follow the show on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook the Mark Hoke Show, and of course we're doing our live shows wherever we travel at markhokeshow.com. So there we go.
And if you're in Australia, you can download it.
Yeah.
Yeah, find it and download it because, that's that's good. Anything good for poker is good as far as I'm concerned.
There you go.
Yeah, poker's good.
All right. So that's going to wrap it up. Well, Peter, I hope you had a good time at the World Series. Now cut loose and enjoy Vegas and have a good time, all right?
Well, I was here for this, and now I'm sort of got a few days and off to the Grand Canyon next week.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, Tuesday I'm heading out to the Grand Canyon. So probably get around a couple of places over the next couple of days and we're going out to the plaza tonight. So
Okay, well, I'm going there on a work trip.
well, I'll go there
So-
to play cards. So.
Okay, so don't give me any flack out there. I'll
No,
throw you out.
mate. I wouldn't give you flack. You know, we're good mates. It's awesome. You know. We are.
That's what a lot of people said lately, and it gave me flack. But that's all right.
Nah, we wouldn't.
I
give you
don't
flack,
mind. It's
mate.
all
Don't worry
good.
about that.
It's all good. All right, so that's going to do it for the Mark Hook Show. Peter, thanks for sitting in. I appreciate it.
Glad. Well, actually, I'm happy and I'm unhappy to be here, Mark. So it's. I wish I was still inside playing, but somebody has to go out at some stage, and unfortunately, it was me. So there we go.
Well,
next year, we'll save our pennies for next year.
There you go. All right, guys, we will see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show. Maybe on a little late tomorrow because we are discussing possibly going to Comic-Con. So we'll keep you posted on our social media what showtime we'll have on Saturday. We want to thank you for being with us, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show. Have a great afternoon and best of luck at the tables.
Cheers, guys.